In this video of solving compound inequalities, we're going to now work with OR inequalities. Okay, so with OR inequalities, remember it's two different inequalities, and your x value can work for either or both of them. Okay, so think for a second if you were just going to graph x less than or equal to -2. So let's see, what would that look like? So here's my -2, and I want less than or equal to, so that's a square bracket, and we're going to go less than. Now I want to see what does it look like with x greater than 3. Okay, so you get the idea here. We're just going to graph it on our number line. Still having problems with my 4s. And x greater than 3 looks like this, parenthesis, and greater than. So if I put these on the same number line, that's what I'm looking at with an OR inequality. And it looks something like this. I want x less than or equal to -2, or x greater than my +3. So what about as interval notation? Well, I can go from -infinity to -2, bracket there, because it's inclusive. And I can go from 3 to +infinity, parenthesis here because it's not inclusive. And this is the union of these two. So it means it can be either this one, or both. But in this case, there doesn't happen to be any both in common with these two. Okay? So that's what that looks like. But when we're solving these inequalities, essentially what we're doing is we're solving two separate inequalities and we're putting them on the same number line. So let's solve this first one. I'm going to subtract 1. Okay, so I get 2x is less than 0. And when I get divided by 2, I get x is less than 0. Okay, now we're going to solve this one. I'm going to subtract 7. Okay, so I get -3x is less than -9. I'm going to divide by -3. That's where that little alert should be going off in your head. Ding, ding, ding. We divided by a -3, so I'm going to flip my inequality sign. Most common mistake I see when people are working with inequalities is they forget to do that sign. And this is OR, so we can write the word OR in the middle. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that on a number line. And someday learn how to write my 4s. Common theme here. Okay, so x greater than 3 looks like this. X less than 0, here's 0, looks like that. On a number line, that's what it looks like. Sometimes you will be asked to solve and also write in an interval notation, so -infinity to 0. And we're going to union that with 3 to +infinity. Remember, either or both. And this is, again, another example where you don't have both. Okay, so that's how we work with OR inequalities and how they look a little different than AND inequalities. Oftentimes your AND inequalities will either both be pointing in the same direction or they will be pointing towards one another. Your OR inequalities should always be pointing opposite directions of one another. Okay, so that concludes how we work with solving compound inequalities. We'll see you in the next video.